welcome to your weekly instalment of Your Manchester.
Oh yes, today is shaping up to be one very full show.
Yes, don't forget we are here for you, the people of Manchester and its surrounding areas, every single week with our cast of presenters.
And we really do promise that there is something here for everyone, so please join us.
Yes, we stream on the Your Manchester YouTube page and over on our patrons YouTube page, Canal Street Online.
Now, speaking of patrons, many of you might have noticed that at the start of the show we feature Canal Street Online and another fab company called Felix Opus. Well, we are really proud to say the CEO of Felix Opus is with us today, which is great.
It is. It's time to explain how this company is going from strength to strength whilst giving back to the people of Manchester. How is that even possible?
It sounds such a great idea. Now, as well as this, earlier today, Belinda, cheeky mare,
yes,
you had a great chance to speak to one of the cast of the smash hit sensation Miss Saigon. It's on at the Palace at the moment.
It was wonderful, yes, and he was a lovely boy. I've been talking to David Allwood. Yes, more of that later.
Oh, I'm sure we'll see more of that later. Now, today also we talked to our titters about Commonwealth Games, the medals that we've got, and today's sports focus is Manchester Netball.
We've also got Dan Westwood as he talks LOL dolls, and Beauty Guru talks Jeffrey. Let me do that again. Beauty Guru Jeffrey talks concealers.
And of course we've got our Hayley, who's going to tell us all about that soap gossip and a new feature from Lydia.
Oh yes, so stick around and welcome to Your Manchester.
Well, first today we welcome Lisa Holmes, who has developed a very special product that's even got our Mayor Andy Burnham a little bit excited.
That's right, this company intends to give to both the mental health charities and to get the homeless back to work. Felix Opus literally means in Latin, happy to work. Welcome, Lisa.
Hello, thank you very much for having me.
You're more than welcome. Tell us a bit about this company then.
So basically the company is giving the opportunity for people to work from home that wouldn't normally be able to go and do a normal 9-to-5 job. So they may have mental health problems like anxiety, so they can't leave the home. They may have some kind of illness that they have to take medication for that may make them drowsy, so they can't do a normal full shift at work. We're allowing people to kind of work their own hours at their own pace, so we can start from 9 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night and people can choose their hours. Phase 2 of the company that we're hopefully rolling out within the very, very near future is that we're going to be helping the homeless people into work as well. We're rolling that out in Manchester, working closely with the charity Street Support in Manchester, and hopefully getting a lot of homeless people working, getting them to have a bit of self-worth and self-confidence again.
And we talked before about Andy Burnham,
yes,
really right. behind helping the homeless people in Manchester. What made you come up with this idea?
It was, I myself have suffered with mental health in the past. Also, I suffer very badly from arthritis, and sometimes that can be quite crippling, and the medication that I can take makes me quite drowsy. So I've kind of been at home and experienced wanting to go out to work but not being able to. So I thought, create something that allows people like myself to have that chance to work again. And the homeless side of things, I've lived in Manchester on and off for sort of like 9 years or so, and every time I come back to Manchester, you see the homeless situation is getting worse and worse and worse. And it was only when I spoke to Street Support that you realise that people on the streets is only a fraction of the problem. There's all the people that were overcrowded in the shelters, B&Bs that are full up with families that are homeless and everything, and lots of other different places that take the homeless in. And it's a major problem, but it's not just trying to create homes for them. We've got to create a job or something to help them get back into life and get them independent and looking after themselves and having that feeling of getting out in the community again.
So how does it work then? How do you get them back to work?
So what the plan is, we're hoping to find space maybe in day centres or in an office that we've taken on, and hopefully hire the meeting room and things like that, and we'll have computer bases that they can come in. We'll train them up, we'll give them tea, coffee and sandwiches and everything whilst they're here and stuff. And then they'll come in and work. We'll just train them up, get them on the headset, get a headset on, and get them on the phones, get them working, and then like I say, they get fed and everything whilst they're here, And then what we'd like to do is kind of pay them in by giving them a night in a hotel or a night in a, you know, in a hospital or something, and do it that way. And hopefully they'll come back and they'll be regular, and we can try and do that for as many people as we possibly can. I know that there's a lot of companies across Manchester that are trying to do the same, you know, because it is obviously such a big issue at the moment. So.
That's fantastic.
Thank
I mean, in terms of what they will be doing, you talked about headsets and kind of giving them training. Yeah. What kind of services are they going to be doing? At the moment, we're running a campaign with a company in Manchester called Capital Life Funeral Plans, and it's all about doing a prepaid funeral plan. I don't know if you're aware of what one of those is. It's basically guaranteeing you a funeral at today's prices. Funeral costs go up by 8% every year. So what could cost a funeral could cost about £3,500 to £4,000 today. In about 15 years' time, it rises by 8% each year. So you're talking probably at least double or triple that.
And it must be a good idea to get the funeral plans at these prices while they're at a low, before the, because it must give peace of mind to the families and everything.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not just taking away the financial, you know, aspect of it. I mean, to me, yeah, you can get it at today's prices, so it's like an investment. But to me, the most important thing is the emotional burden that you're taking away from your loved ones, because you can literally choose everything. You can choose what songs you want, you can choose, you know, down to what people wear. So if you want everyone to wear a certain colour, you can choose your funeral director, you can choose absolutely everything. And you're not having, your loved ones aren't having to do that, so they can grieve and have that grieving process instead of, you know, you passing away and then they've got to kind of do the funeral and everything else, and it kind of stops people from grieving then, you know, they're holding that grief in because they're stressing about finding money and planning a funeral.
So how do people come about finding you then? How do they get in contact and make sure they get these funeral plans?
We've got a Facebook page, which is Felix Opus Limited, so they can find us on there. We've also got a Twitter account, so you can find us on Twitter. I have no idea how to use that, but my PR marketing manager does a very, very good job of that. We can also find us at my email address, felixopuslimited.co.uk, and they can reach me on there. And also we've got telephone numbers and everything else, so we're out there, so people have just got to find us.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much for coming in today.
No problem, thank you very much for having me.
And thank you for being our patron as well.
Yeah, yes, I'm very, very proud to sponsor your channel. You know, I think you're doing such a good thing, getting the you know, Manchester seeing you and seeing what's going on, and having people on like me to spread the message about things like this. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, do come back, and also
yes, with some definitely. I'll tell you how it's all going and everything else. Yeah, definitely keep you updated.
Thank you.
Now, Belinda, I did promise you a new feature, and we've got it. And what is it called?
Not the News.
Hiya, I'm Lydia, and you won't believe what's been going on this week. First of all, a rather hilarious story, if I do say so myself. A couple from Middlesbrough were told that they weren't allowed to buy meat pies before 9 AM at their local Morrison's. Linda and Tony Gilt could see bags and bags of pies within arm's reach, but they were told that they couldn't have any. They were out to buy 8 sausage rolls and 2 steak bakes at 8:45 in the morning. Linda said, "I could see bags and bags of pies all wrapped up on cages behind the counter. The trolley was ready to be pushed out, but when I asked for the pies, I was told, we can't sell pies until 9 AM. I was told I could have a fruit pie, but not a meat pie. They were told that the shop had a no meat pies before 9 AM policy. You can have fruit pies, but you can't have meat pies." Linda, a grandmother of 4, said, "If they hadn't been cooked, that would make sense, but the fact that they were baked, well, it's just ridiculous." When you're faced with that situation at the counter, you start thinking, is it candid camera? Is it April Fool's Day? A spokesman for Morrison said, "It appears that in this case, we should have sold the customer their pies. We apologise for any inconvenience that might have been caused." Linda concluded, "I wasn't waiting 20 minutes, so I went to Coupland's. I was disappointed to say the least." In a victory for the couple, Morrison's later vowed to sell meat pies from 7 AM. Imagine losing £70,000. Well, a woman from Somerset almost did after trying to give away 2 of her mother-in-law's rings to charity. She wasn't a fan. She wanted to donate a 4-carat diamond Cartier ring and a blue sapphire ring, along with a box of other stuff which wasn't worth a lot. But to be on the safe side, she asked auctioneer Gareth Wasp to look the whole box over. Gareth said, "I noticed the Cartier box straight away, but that doesn't always mean that it's going to be a Cartier ring inside. If I hadn't been on the ball that day, the rings would have ended up in the charity shop." Then I had a look at this great big diamond in front of me. Meanwhile, the lady kept saying she was really keen to get rid of it. She kept repeatedly emphasising to me to get rid of it and give it to charity, thinking they weren't worth anything. I had to say, I think this is something that needs a bit more research. They were hidden in another box among other average items. Gareth then came to the beautiful, absolutely stunning second ring, which had a sapphire stone in the centre of it. Behind diamonds, sapphires are second place. The Cartier ring auctioned for £42,000 and the sapphire ring sold for £28,000. I've been Lydia and you guys have been amazing.
Well, that was great fun, Lydia.
Yeah, today's show seems full of nutters, doesn't it? Speaking of which, here's the soaps from my favourite nutter, our Hales.
Hiya, let's chat soap. First of all, we're popping down to EastEnders. Now, Max Branning will be back with a bang at the end of this month, but not everybody's happy to see him. Let's see if he'll make amends. Vincent's behaviour seems a little bit suspicious to Kim, and she's right actually, because on Friday he's going to tell her some shocking news. Kat's thoughts are with her children after seeing Arshad, and Ben Mitchell, he could be returning with a new boyfriend too. Now zooming back up north, and we are popping into Hollyoaks. Last Friday, Scarlett made a shocking return, and Brodie has been comforting Damon, but it's clear he was hiding something. And Milo received a call from an unknown number, and he said he'd meet him later, and it turned out to be Theo. It's been revealed that there'll be a dramatic exit for Ryan, and his secret was actually exposed last week as well. Later this week, Myra will discover Cleo's secret, and next week, Sienna will be panicking as her stalker ordeal continues. Next week, I'll be talking to a friend of mine, a soap star who made history, so do tune in. Now, on a slightly different note, a little bit of a personal note, I'd like to dedicate this episode to my cat Fluffy, who was suddenly taken from me last week. She was my lovely TV viewing companion with the sweetest personality, and I'll miss her dearly. Well, I've been Hayley. That's it from me. More soapy chat next week. See you then. Bye.
So, here we are with our titters, everybody. Welcome back again. Must have been a good week for you, sport-wise.
It's been a very good week for me, sport-wise. And the headline of the week, it's the ladies' netball team. I don't know if you managed to see that fantastic victory for the Commonwealth Games.
Oh, I did.
That last second goal.
Tracy Neville bringing it home for us with her team.
Not just Tracy Neville from Bury, but we've also Jodie Gibson, who's part of the squad. She's from Bury. And the other Manchester connection is Helen Housby, who scored the goal. She's now in New South Wales playing. But prior to that, she played for Manchester Thunder.
Oh, what we're talking about is England won gold.
I'm studying no. A goal.
The top on it,
Do you call it a goal when it goes in?
It is a goal, yeah.
Is it still got a goal?
Yeah,
I'm so glad you're explaining. I haven't got a clue like that.
52-51.
Yeah.
That's a lot of scoring, isn't it? Or is it?
I think, well, it's a fast game.
It's a
for an hour, yeah, 100 goals, yeah.
I tell you what, it's really hard to play netball because I played it as an adult, and it, you know, you do need to have a lot of stamina.
Yeah.
But I mean, Australia have won it for so long.
Australia, New Zealand have always been the final, you see.
So we've done well then.
Australia, New Zealand, and Jamaica, and won it. Went undefeated. So marvellous story.
We'll get you playing it next week.
Yeah, I'd look good playing netball.
For anyone who might be interested, who's sort of like interested in the sport now. Manchester Thunder have got a home game at Bellevue Arena at 5 o'clock on Saturday.
Oh.
Moving on to football.
Yes.
Well, at last, Manchester City have been crowned.
I knew you'd be happy with this.
I just have to mention.
You're not so much, are you?
Not so much, but that's history.
Yes.
One for the future. United are at Wembley in the semi-final. Yeah. On Saturday against Tottenham Hotspur. So that's a 5 o'clock kick-off. It's all roundabout, so it might clash with the netball. You can always watch it on Match of the Day after.
Choices.
I
love a red button.
So what do we think their odds are?
United?
Yes.
Oh, they've got to bring it home. You can't have a trophy cabinet with, you know, you can't have enough silverware in a soft trophy.
You're a Blues supporter.
I know, I'm a Manchester.
But I like this about the fact that you're being like so unbiased about it, though.
Well, as a kid, I went to both.
Yeah.
You know, but I preferred to go to United as a kid because the terracing was a little bit higher and I could see the game.
Yeah.
The main road, it was all shallow. Yeah. But now, I've never been able to get tickets to go to watch United.
I know, they don't.
But I bought a shirt from the City shop.
Yeah.
And it made me an official member of Manchester City. And I've been able to get tickets for there, so that's where I prefer to watch City.
That's wonderful.
Wonderful, you see.
Wonderful. What else is going on then in the world of Titter sport?
Sport of the week. Sport of the week. My challenge was horse riding.
Yes. Did you take that challenge?
I did, yeah. I had a lovely, lovely night out on Thursday.
We've got some pictures actually. We'll put up for this interview.
Yeah. And I went to see Sue and Millie Ralston, who very kindly let me call Charlie and Vienna, their two horses, call them in from the field and stable them for the night. Oh. Make sure they were fed. I didn't have to do any mucking out, but...
Did you not?
No.
I would have insisted on it.
It was just a photo shoot. The photo was just for effect.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
As I said to Celine Dion, why the long face?
So did you enjoy it?
I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a lovely evening with them, and what I noticed is that the horse, they've got a real soulful eye. If you look in a horse's eye.
Yeah.
And horse riding is about the connection between the two.
Yeah.
And it was just sort of like really that bonding that goes on.
Yeah.
And so really I want to highlight riding for the disabled.
Yeah.
Because it's a charity, all volunteers that run it. There's a northwest section, and I'll have to refer to my notes to make sure I
go
get
on
the right
then.
centres. Sorry, cameraman. Right. You can go to Middlewood, which is at Poynton, Camsley Grange, which is at Glazebrook at Warrington, and West Lancs, which is at Parbold at Wigan. That's for the horse riding.
Yeah.
The other thing they do is the old carriage riding.
Oh, I like that.
Like Philip and did in Horse of the Year and all that. They do that, but that's out at Southport. But it gives people with a disability the opportunity, and I think it's just a marvellous.
It really is.
You know, and I think I could actually get to do this. I don't think I'd make a jockey though.
No, you're too tall.
I was going to say that.
Did you see the weight on the Grand National? 11 stone something. I'd have to cut both legs off.
I know, I would too, I tell you. And arms, and head.
Have we set you a challenge for next week?
What would you like to set me for next week?
Diving!
Do you know what I was going to say? Something
just
like
for no other reason than the top picture at the moment for everybody is our Tom Daly when he jumps in that. Yeah. Tom Slip.
Yeah, oh right.
Yeah.
I'd say synchronised swimming, but you know, I couldn't see you in a cap with flowers.
I couldn't see you in Speedos, to be honest, but I mean, we can work on that for next.
Scary.
We're going to have to wrap it up again, I'm being told. But you've got swimming, diving, anything to do with water sports next week.
Right, so the aquatic centre
I'm
for
just
me
going
this
to clean that up in a minute.
Aquarobic.
Yes. All right, then. Thank you very much.
A bit of that, thank you.
Lovely. Cheers, titters.
Cheers.
Did I just say anything to do with water sports? Oh, lovely. Thanks again, titters. Now, earlier today, I had the pleasure of meeting a man.
Oh, God, nothing new there, then.
Thank you. He's currently appearing at Manchester's Palace Theatre in Bow Bill and Schonbill's Miss Saigon. He's been performing for years, and having watched this man for several years, it's been a joy to document his progression. Let's meet Mr. David Allwood. Well, look who we're here, everybody. The one and only Mr. David Allwood, all the way currently for the sensation that is sweeping that very nation, Miss Saigon. Hello!
Hi,
how are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
Branded t-shirt, top, coat, everything.
I'm ready.
Lovely. So tell us a bit about yourself then. Where are you from originally?
So I'm originally from Hertfordshire, a place called Tring, which probably no one knows.
I've heard of that.
Have you?
Yes, I have, yeah. It's quite posh, isn't it?
A bit posh.
Very posh, ladies and gerbils, very posh.
But I ran away to the city when I was 18 and never looked back.
And was that so that you could get into the dancing and the singing and everything?
It was, yeah.
What would you say is your speciality, the dancing or the singing?
Probably the dancing.
The dancing. He's getting my accent there and everything. I'm not common at all. I should speak like you and that'd make everything better, doesn't it? There we go. So how much training did you do? Where did you train?
I went to a ballet school first.
Ballet?
Yeah.
Do you do ballet as well?
Yeah.
I can't stand men that wear tights. I just
really?
don't think it's natural at all.
I've not got them on today.
Oh, that's a shame. It's very awkward, isn't it? It's a shame. So you started doing ballet?
Doing ballet, and then I did a degree in musical theatre.
Yeah.
So from 18 to 21 I did a degree, and then out into the big wide world.
So dare I ask how old you are now?
I'm 30 in 11 days.
30 in 11 days?
Yes.
So you'll be in Manchester for your birthday?
I will, yeah.
Ah, so you're having a party?
I am.
Where are you
You're
having
invited.
a party? I can think of a good place to have a party on Bar Fridays and Saturdays.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. It's good there, you know.
that?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's on Canal Street. There's a gorgeous ginger drag queen that does a lovely show all night long. She does musical theatre numbers while sounding like Marge Simpson. It's very clever stuff.
Right up my street.
Yeah, well, yes, it is. And so you did that, and then you went into what show did you go into first? What was your first professional break?
Yeah, I started in Beauty and the Beast, UK
Really?
tour. Yeah.
Who were you? Anybody?
The cheese grater.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
I'm
all
so
these
glad you
characters come on. No, but they're all important, aren't they?
I was the bacon boy at the start, and then I was
Yeah.
the cheese grater.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a really big line in Be Our Guest.
Yes.
Hey!
Is that it?
Yeah. That was it.
It's well worth an equity card, isn't it? Eh? Absolutely. And then where did you go from there?
I did a few commercial things like.
Because you were in one of them commercials that. What's that one?
What, the Walker's Crisp one?
No, it was some.
TJ Hughes.
TJ Hughes, yes.
Yeah.
Saw you in that because I remember thinking, oh my god, I know that face.
Oh really?
Yeah, because you go from stages, don't you, of having a beard and not having a beard, don't you?
I do. Yeah. I've got to be clean shaven for Miss Saigon.
So have I. Why have you got to be clean shaven for Miss Saigon?
They just prefer it because we sort of move between GIs and Vietnamese in the army, and they just kind of want it to be sort of blanket everyone have clean shaven.
And that's one heavy show, isn't it?
It is.
It's not anywhere near as cheerful as Beauty and the Beast, is it?
I know. I've kind of, it was actually a real challenge for me because I've not really done a show that's so kind of deep and very kind of like research based. But I really enjoyed that actually. It was quite nice to have a bit of a challenge, do something different.
No, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen it. Only for no other reason. You can't get tickets for love nor money at the moment in Manchester. It is practically sold out every single night, isn't it?
We're doing well so far.
And you've got matinees as well.
Yeah, matinees are doing much better. We've got them on Thursdays and Saturdays.
Yeah, which is different. It's normally a Wednesday, isn't it?
Oh, right.
Yeah. I don't know why they've changed
Shake
it.
things up a bit.
Shake things up a bit. And who do you play in this then?
So I'm one of the GIs.
Yes.
So we all kind of have named parts, but I'm basically one of the ensemble. So my GI is called Jake, and he's one of the troops. And then we kind of move around. We do loads of different things. I'm one of the ensemble, so I do, like I said, the Vietnamese bits, and then we go to Bangkok, and I'm a tourist.
Wow.
So yeah.
So you do quite a few roles in it then?
Yeah.
And are you enjoying it?
Changes. I love it.
Are you not sick of doing the same thing?
Weirdly not, because it changes all the time. Like we have set tracks, but because there's so much backstory, things kind of always change, and you kind of have to react to what you're given on the night. So yeah, it's not got boring yet.
And what role would you play if you could play one of the roles? And if you say Kim, I'll have to hit you.
Gigi, actually.
Gigi?
Yeah,
really?
movie in my mind. Get that bikini on.
I love that song. There's so many good songs in it, isn't there?
Yeah, it's really, like, the soundtrack is just amazing. Like, I feel very lucky.
And how long are you doing this for then?
So in Manchester, we've got a cast change, so we're busy at the moment. So we've done a year, and this is the last venue of the first tour. We finish at the end of the month, and then the new cast start on I'm probably going to be wrong, but I think it's about the 2nd of May.
Right.
So we've then got another year, and we're going all over the country, and then to Zurich and possibly Germany as well. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So you're enjoying sticking with it then?
Yeah, I decided to stay. I'm actually moving to swing, which means I cover all the GIs.
Right.
So yeah, I'll be doing that from the cast change onwards.
That's dead exciting. And what's after, any idea what's after Miss Saigon for you?
No idea. Fun employment. Just have to see, get auditioning and... Yeah.
But you're enjoying it all?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Oh, it's all great, isn't it? Well, listen, thank you so much for taking your time coming and seeing us today. It's really fully appreciated. David Allwood, everybody! Whoa!
Do you know what? You were really right. He was a great guy, and I tell you what, Miss Saigon is a fantastic show, isn't it?
I've not seen it yet.
You haven't seen it?
I am so excited. I want to go and see it. It's like the show that you should see, really, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's epic. The story is amazing, and the songs are fantastic.
Do they use the helicopter like they do in the West End, though?
They certainly do. It is incredible. Yeah, it's really like life-size, and you go all cold when it comes on because you just think this is amazing to see this, and for Manchester to get a production like Miss Saigon.
But we are getting lucky and luckier, aren't we, really, with the productions that we get here?
We are giving the West End a big run for its money, and it's absolutely fantastic to see. And actually, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live down at the Palace Theatre.
Are you?
Next Tuesday at 5:45. So do try and tune into that, because we're going to see some of the cast, some of the people who make the wigs, and go a little bit behind the scenes before showtime. So it'll be exciting.
That's very exciting. Right, well, carrying on, finally this evening, it's time to have our weekly makeup fix.
I hope you're not talking about me. Is this because you're not wearing enough makeup?
No, this is all natural. But our beauty guru, yes, Jeffrey, isn't just wearing, thankfully he's sharing. And this week he's talking about that old favourite, popular since the 1940s thanks to the pioneering efforts of Lawrence and Joan Gelb, or as they later became, Clarion.
Do you know what? You never cease to amaze me.
Why, thank you, Michelle. Ginger and intelligent.
I'm not sure about that, but maybe it's just someone who can work out Google.
Welcome back to Your Makeup Fix. Today I'm going to be talking about concealers. We're going to go through which concealers you should get, ranging from the high-end all the way to the drugstore affordable ones. So let's talk concealers. So let's start off with our high-end brands. So you have NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and that's really good for brightening up the under eye area, bringing out the high points of your face. It's also good to cover up blemishes. You also have MAC Studio Fix concealers, which are really good for covering up blemishes. You usually use those concealers to cover up whatever you want. You also then have Tarte Shape Tape. You can get this on their website. You can't really get it anywhere else in the UK, but you order it off their website. This is a really thick and creamy concealer. You could use this as an eyeshadow base, or under your eyes and high points of your face. That's what a lot of people usually use it for, and not really for covering up blemishes. But for people who are out there like me, I love my drugstore brands. If you can find a product that does the same job as a high-end brand, then why not? Here are the two of my favorites. So I have the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. This is in the shade Fair 1. I use this on all my clients, and I use this to brighten up their under eye areas. I highlight the top of their forehead, bridge of the nose, upper lip and chin, and then I also use this to cover up any blemishes that they want. I also have the Maybelline Eye Eraser. This acts exactly like the Tarte Shape Tape. It's creamy and it blends out really well. So today we're going to be going in with the Maybelline Eye Eraser. You're just going to take the product and you're going to place it under your eye. And you can take as much of the product or as little as you want. Then you're going to go in with the brush. I usually go in with the Beauty Blender, but today we'll go in with the brush so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to tap that product into the skin. Just blending it in with the skin so it looks like skin and getting rid of all the harsh lines. I like to take it up the nose a little bit here, just so then it complements that nose contour. Once that's all blended in, you can then go in and set it with a banana powder or translucent powder, depending on your skin tone. So really with any of your concealers, I would just go in under your eyes and then blend out. And then also down the bridge of your nose, depending if you want to really contour and highlight that nose. So you go down the bridge of the nose, up on the forehead, your upper lip and your chin. You can also go in. A lot of people go in from under their contour, but I'd rather go in with powder. But that's what I would do with your concealers. And also if you want to cover up blemishes, just a little dot of this and then blend it out.
Oh, and just like our Queen said, another show bites the dust.
Oh, indeed. How sad. But But I'm glad because I've got to go on for a quickie.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes, a quickie.
A quickie?
Yes.
Well, I think you'll find it's pronounced not a quickie, it's a quiche, yeah?
It depends how fast it cooks. Speaking of which, fancy dinner and an autopsy?
Have you lost the plot?
No, listen, seriously. Next week, Anatomy Live is going to be touring and we're getting the inside and the lowdown.
It's vodka in these, you know.
Yes.
Anyway, Hayley is back. She's got a special guest, Annie Wallace, and it's going to be right here in the studio, on these very seats.
And we're discussing our lovely artwork as well.
Oh yeah, and all this and much more, only on Your Manchester. See you there.
Ta-ra,